We're trying to remember when we actually started playing as a group. And I guess it must be, what, 5 years now? It kind of just grew, didn't it?
The idea behind the project was basically that nobody did this as a string quartet in concert situations. And I think, you know, to have brand new repertoire arranged specifically for the group that no one else in the UK or anybody else has, you can't buy these arrangements in the shops or anything, is quite a unique selling point for the quartet. The image that we're trying to create is like a string quartet being like sort of Frank Sinatra was, or being like a crooner, that you try and go back to that era. Because no one writes songs like that these days.
No, at all.
No one. I mean, they're just so incredibly beautiful, some of them, you know.
Are they're people who grew up with those tunes as their pop music, and they kind of miss it all, really. And they've all got stories to tell us when we've done a gig. They come up and they say, I met my wife, or I saw my husband, or what, that kind of thing, and it triggers really kind of strong memories for these people, doesn't it?
You can play some pieces and you can look out into the audience, and there are some people who are very emotional because it's triggered a memory.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You know I do like to talk on these events.
I think you've got to try and involve the audience, because in classical concerts, it's almost like you're not involved. There's a big screen, it feels like, between where we are on the stage and the audience. It's perspex and you can see through it, but you never get the chance to kind of take part, do you?
In some venues, you really can't see the audience. You know, the lighting is such that they're completely blacked out. So it's kind of, at classical concerts, it sometimes feels like they're one entity, but at Masquerade Quartet concerts, we get to know them individually. That's the difference.
Quite often we'll couple a concert. Well, the first half we'll do a classical program. We'll do, say, you know, an early Mozart quartet and then some famous movements from quartets. And then the second half, this is where the kind of unbuttoned part of it comes, or the getting the ties off. And then we play these arrangements and say, well, look, you know, a quartet can do this kind of stuff as well. But using the same kind of sound as we used in the first half, it's just as demanding, and we give it just as much credence as we do the Mozarts and the Beethovens and the Ravels.
We work in the same way. We balance things in the same way as we would a Beethoven quartet, and we listen carefully. You know, we rehearse the intonation. The rehearsal process is exactly the same.
Indeed.
The arrangements are such that you can have something like Goldfinger, you know, the theme tune from James Bond, and you don't miss any of the horn parts. You know, Mark writes in such a way that the cello becomes a stand-up bass, and the violin suddenly the horn. You know, it works really well.
I think that the really clever part is that when you're listening as an audience member, the bits that quite clearly aren't there because there's only 4 of you, because they're famous tunes, you can hear them. You hear them in your head, and you swear blind you might have heard a triangle in there. You just kind of hear these things and you think, well, I know it's not there because I'm sat here and I've only got a violin, so it can't be there, but you just put it there in your own kind of head, as it were.
Quite flexible in that you can do a concert whereby people are having a glass of wine at a table and it's more a cabaret style thing, or you can take it into a concert hall where people are going to sit there like a normal concert and appreciate the music for what it is.
But it's all under that banner of, you know, this isn't classical music, it's great music played by classical players.